I, I want to welcome you, and I want you to know that I came to the altar from abundance of preparation. I didn't come casually. No, I didn't just enter here casually. I know that a day like today will come. So I've been getting ready for a very long time. Now, what I have here is 6 courses, and there is no way I can take them. Each of them is very, very important to me. And I would like you to know, hear me say to you, one of the things I regret in my life is a confusion that I made growing up, and it is hurting me now. All the subtraction that confusion brought into my life. I am not healed completely from the pain. And I am on this altar to take vengeance. And to see how I can help one person understand what I'm trying to say. Last night I said the church passed through America and they brought so much charismatism to the church and painted God what God is not. And Africans bought it and we are dying. They brought it in preaching, they brought it in charismatism, they brought it in dressing, they brought it in all manner of ways. And then because they believe we are inferior, we bought into this thing without asking questions. And suddenly something that doesn't look like God is harassing us. And nobody's asking questions. Are we not really human beings? Is God really an American? They went and brought careless living into the church, brought things that kill men, make it look like God, and then it make us to ignore the biblical patterns. We look at biblical patterns, and these people made us to ignore principles that represent biblical patterns. The Bible is with us, and they're saying something else. I speak this in God's presence. A move that is real is coming from Africa. And excuse me, I'm not talking about a move, I'm talking about something I am part of. The only reason I'm alive. Excuse me. Taking vow of poverty and vow of chastity is intentional. It doesn't have anything to do with religion. It is pointing towards gain. So that I'm not married is not a religious obligation. It's a business. It is something, it's not something I did for God. It's something I did for myself and for the locust army. And excuse me, I am not going to turn away from the prophet. You know, let me tell you something before I go into the course. There are things people take time to understand. If they are blessed by God, there are things they will never understand. That's why I want to talk about the ancient Lion King. It's a mystery. That's my first teaching. This thing I just said now is why separation is continuous. Separation will always be continuous. When When Jesus came at the time of John, was Jesus really trying to make effort for John to understand something John should not understand? In Matthew chapter 16, a day came when Jesus asked his disciples, just like today. Let me ask you to listen. Something that might be very difficult for big men of God around the world to understand. But God will go to where few things are kept and raise numbers. And out of the mouth of suckling, God will ordain power. It is in the nature of God for him to go and hide in numbers. Certain place at the time like this. Excuse me, let me ask you a question. If you don't have eyes of God to see, what else do you have? For if you're here, you're hearing me. The eyes of prophets cannot reign in this season. This season is not a time for prophetic eyes. Excuse me. The ancient Lion King has eyes already. I say he has eyes already. The eyes he has is the eyes of a person. The eyes of a person is different from the eyes of a prophet. Wait, let me ask you a question. From interpretation, can Kumuyi be called a prophet? From our idea of the prophetic. Was he like a prophet like me? Who said there is somebody here in Bugimbu? Was like Bishop Oyedebo, was he like a prophet? But they have eyes that is superior. Don't think I'm trying to criticize something. Sometimes I see young pastors in Nigeria talking about the halo of William Branham. You know, some of us that are looking at me, some of the things, some of the men of, you are in Lucas Army, some pastors you are following that you admire are people who were not even sure of what they are. That's what you admire, pastors that we don't even know where they stand. You will leave the principle. Please let me, before I go into that, let me ask you to listen. What if the local psalm is turning into word base? 100%. And may God not allow me to prioritize any other thing outside the word from this moment. Because it is a privilege of my life to come here now. Maybe because God showed me favor, I am 60 now. I need to tell them, I said, if I talk about the prophetic, if I don't have eyes to see, you think I'm getting jealous. Listen, I get to the prophetic list, I can know your name. It's not too much to know your name. It's not too much to call you by name. There was a time I started prophetic on making congregational call. I'll call you out. Say there's somebody else is a children's prophet. Can I test 3 people? Can I use 3 of us for test? I went to meet somewhere. After I have preached for Reverend David some years ago, Bishop Noel, in fact, I came from Meduguri on Monday and went to Asaba on Friday. In that meeting, I said there is somebody here. Your name is Stella. I said no. I said Maria. I said no. Then I said, you are Stella Maris. Come out. She came out. When I went to Enugu Eastern, this thing, the husband drove from Asaba to come and meet me at Enugu. He said, I'm the husband of Stella Maris. Then I pitied him. Honor is in understanding priorities. But it's a mystery, what I said. If God does not separate men from pattern, why has school get bigger than others? Are we not all laboring? Why has Bishop Oyedebe become an umbrella to the church in Africa? Other people are they not preaching? And somebody said, this is my calling. When we are going home in the morning, I told them, we had this type of program in Shrouded. And one of the time, the hotel bill in one hotel, Paragon, was 1 million, just in one hotel, for me. And this one, I have not paid any hotel anywhere. And but we are now collecting. We don't know the difference. By this program last year, when the program ended, all of us left. I started attending to people spending money by 1 a.m. on Monday morning. Because I brought people I didn't even know what they came to do. Maybe because I was younger. To come and look at somebody who is 60 years, to come and whip my emotion, is a disgrace of age. The promise I'm making to you that in 3 months we'll be in Galilee. If you cross that road, nobody will talk to you. Then you know that hiding yourself in your labor can preserve you. Excuse me, that offering you gave here, apart from the minor expenses, Monday morning I will channel it towards Galilee. Every one naira. All the seed you gave me since you came here, I've not spent 1 naira. I know where it will go. I've already told Pastor Chuku, I said, they will leave here on Monday, get to Galilee, get to Onitsha before they are sit at home of our mad brothers. Excuse me, you know, Pentecostalism tell us we should paint it. You look at a small girl, she's wasting, and you're saying, daughter of Zion, you're not a servant of God. God will bypass your mouth and punish her. Then you will take shame. Because the law and the pattern is bigger than us. Pastor Sunday, all these things I say is testing. No. I'm starting now. That bed is not this. It's testing. The ancient Lion King is a mystery. Come and ring bell when I've not said anything. It's not possible. Now, there is no man of God, tangibly, particularly in dispensational season, like this season, that is really called by God, that his calling is not attached to mystery. This ancient Lion King you see, is protected. You know, he's a personality that is protected. Because he's encapsulated in mysteries. I said, the ancient Lion King is encapsulated. Kennedy, see what I said? That's what you would say. Or is shrouded in mystery. Now, he is shrouded in mystery to be protected. 4, only those that should meet him, and to keep himself from those that must not meet him, that must not know him. Now, there are 2 conditions for knowing. Number 1, God chooses those that know and what they should know. Let me say again. I say God chooses those that should know and what they should know. And then number 2, God chooses the prize. The what? The price people must pay to know. Now, the price is not as important as God choosing you to know. There are 2 omnipotents I want us to see in the Bible. In chapter 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, one of the major expenses I have done in this program is printing book. Now, why I teach is that I started ministry with the prophetic eyes. Not much for me until I started using the eyes of the ancient Lion King. So when I started seeing with the eyes, I reduced prophecy. Because as for me, knowing is more important than seeing vision. So when you come to me and be telling me something that I should find out by prophecy, how can I go to ask God to show me something I know by knowing? I can interpret the way your eyes is. I can see the way you walk. It tells me about your temperament. I can see the way you sit down. It tells me about who raised you. When you are trying to complain about your wife with me, sitting down, I saw the way that you are vibrating, and I'm not your wife. There are people, when I look at their eyes, I see fire. There are those I saw coldness in their eyes. And they told me, they said, their ministry is not prospering. How can your eyes be cold and you want to have a prosperous ministry? Excuse me, if there is confusion in the eyes, is it hidden? As I'm looking at you. If there is confusion in the eyes, will you be hidden? Will you hide it from me when I'm looking at you? These 4 people that are sitting down here, are they sitting down the same way? No, I should be a prophet. The Bible says in chapter 5 that when that book was praying, somebody who is in heaven started crying. Please hear me. Somebody who is already in heaven, a just man, started crying. Just men don't cry for flimsy things. Whatever that made that man to cry in heaven, I will not joke with it. Why was he crying? He was crying because a book that's supposed to be opened got closed. And he know the pain of closing that book. He knows what will happen to men. You know, when you look at Africans, they think they can hide their destiny from some of us who can see. There is no mystery in destiny. You can see it. Please, prosperity is not a mystery. I was sharing with him in the house, in the office last night. I said the Jews have the most moral army on earth. Have you heard it before? After preaching for 32 years and having met people from different tribes, I know that the Yorubas are the most moral tribe in Nigeria. If I understand morality. I was telling him last night, I said, if Deeper Life is a ministry that came to the southeast, can we produce young Igbo boys that are holy enough to follow that pattern and scatter it around the world? That is the question. Can the land of Igbos produce enough young Igbo boys who can follow the tenet of Deeper Life, represent Deeper Life properly, and then take it to Canada and stay with that life until Canada have 1,000 Deeper Lifers from him? Does the land has the capacity to produce young men? Don't guess. Don't just guess that. I've stayed with Igbo boys for 32 years. I'm not talking about spirituality, I'm talking about moral. Do they have the strength of morality? Ordinary morality, not even spirituality. Or do we keep guessing it? Do we make prophecy on something that doesn't have foundation? Is knowing does it not give us safe place to find ourselves? And know why some things are happening, so that when we want to change, we should change very well. We should know the problem. When the word of prophecy is released on you, with the word of prophecy, not look for a base, a landing place, an activation from your person to walk. There is nothing. Listen. When we built 104 room, 2 local army pastors told me 2 things in the same way. Pastor Caleb is one of them, and one other person. They told me the same thing. People can lie to you if you don't have basis for understanding. You can even hope on hope until time has passed. Because the church creates room sometimes for falsehood through excessive charismatism. Now, if you look at that place, apart from there was weeping because the book closed, the Bible says again, down there, he said the person that have ability to open it has a story from a root. That means that ability is a family ability. It's a lineage ability. Apart from that lineage ability, because time is going away on me, apart from that lineage ability, the lineage capacity that of family of Judah and of David, you know, he said lion of the tribe of Judah, not lion from everywhere. The lion from the tribe of Judah is the root of David. Now, have you ever studied the root of tribes in Nigeria and know why some tribes cannot produce some ministries? And how do you educate them to open it so they don't have basis for understanding? Can you be able to know how deep witchcraft has eaten in some root that will not allow them to have access to things that are tangible to God? Or, please, if God made vow in 49, 8, 9, 10 of the book of Genesis that he will not take king in Israel or a lawgiver outside Judah, then we should be careful. We should be careful not to join some things. And then in chapter 5, I don't know whether it's Reverend Mike or Reverend David. They were talking about a tribe producing God yesterday. Huh? Okay, it was you. Now, it's not every tribe that can present God. Now, what about it if you say everybody can produce it? Let me speak to somebody direct. A day came when Jesus needed to know his disciples the proper way. So he said, like we're talking about ancient Lion King, who do men say I am? At that point in time, so many of them say the same thing. I said so many of them. Please, I think we should look at that. We should look at that. It's very necessary that we look at that. In Matthew chapter 16, verse 15. There is something I want to point out. And he said unto them, who say ye that I am? Verse number 16. And no, from 13. When Jesus came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, who do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? Verse number 14.
And they said, some say that thou art
Excuse
John.
me. The Bible said, they said. And then some. That it was a voice of chorus. Everybody was talking. Then Jesus narrowed down to separate them. Verse 15.
He said unto them, but whom say ye that I am?
Number 16.
And Simon Peter.
Excuse me, did they say they? Is he there now? Those people who came there in 13, why did they close their mouth? Now, why they close their mouth is that there are things God will not reveal to you, even if he has chosen you, until he takes something from you. And you have to have something that he wants before he takes it. Please understand it. It's not about saying, I am giving God something. Do you have something God wants? Peter spoke up because Peter has paid price. I said Peter has paid price to know. So he spoke up. And not only that he paid price, Peter was wired to know. And in Matthew chapter 21, it became a base for leadership. I'm about to talk about Kumi. Has he paid me to admire him? And what I'm saying about him, is he adding anything to him? Excuse me, you don't even know what it means for you to know a man of God and what he represents before you meet him. I say we don't know what it means for a man of God to be known. When his character agrees with his word. There are so many men of God that are going up and down having big names, but we don't know what they represent. What we know is only their name, and their name is not attached to any mandate that is visible. My question is that if they die, what will be remembered? Because they don't have any work attached to their name. Death is inevitable. Let me tell you something. I was one of the young men that admired William Branham. A halo on the head of a man. Charismatic halo. Who was crushed in a highway in the night. That is not how a man of halo should go home. If I understand halo. Because the principal thing, the principal meaning of halo is not doing miracle. It's preservation. It's not I'm talking to you is how long will what I'm saying last in your heart, even if you don't like it. Even if you don't like it, can you really finish with it? That is what this preaching is all about. And so what preaching is all about is, even if you don't like it. Oh, I should say this into younger generation of preachers. All the preachers that went far in ministry, they went through a process of discipleship. God bless Reverend Jessica last night. They went through a process of proper discipleship. Then people who came to the top through proper discipleship became preachers, and they are avoiding discipling their members. The discipline discipleship inculcates in men of God is why many of them went far in ministry. The other day I was talking to the choir. I said to them, I said, if your mother, if you are careless, maybe you don't know how to sit down, and your mother started flogging you in the house, and your daddy was rebuking you until you learn how to sit down, you overcame a particular weakness. My question to you is that if you see another person that the parents didn't bring out of that weakness, will you not see it? And how do people carry a lot of weaknesses? I'm talking about prosperity in ministry. You're a young man and you're struggling to live with your wife, and you want to have a prosperous ministry. Who do you want to follow you? Excuse me, you can keep your wife anywhere you like and do healing. You cannot keep your wife anywhere you want and do apostolic ministry. Did you hear what I said? I said you can keep your wife anywhere you want and do crusade. You cannot keep your wife anywhere you want and gather people. And gather intelligent people who are paying attention to you without asking you about yourself. But if it is prayer house that you want to run, they won't care about it. After all, when you pray for them, they will go home. But when you come after their life, they will come after your own. Uncountable number of times, police will tell me, say, Onyisi. He said, this is why we follow. That means he's following for a reason. So what mystery do is to mold us. When a spirit wants to reveal himself to you, the spirit wants you to look like him. Great if you look at, because he has already rang bell. Let me go to one more scripture. I don't even know whether time will allow me, but let me try. In chapter 3 of the book of Ephesians, Apostle Paul said, my ministry to the Gentiles is built on revelation. That this thing is something that God hid from men in the time past, but it is now revealed. The Gentiles shall be followers, and ministry of Apostle Paul was built on it. The local psalm is going to be built on what we know about the ancient Lion King. And the attack this ministry have had because of background, thank God for evening glory, is knowing some things late after we have put energy in wrong direction. Can energy that is invested in wrong direction be really be recovered? If we can't go back to yesterday, then we can't recover it. And it's a pain. Something that is hidden from others, but it is revealed to you. You should build your ministry on it. Put your hand together for Jesus. I'm taking another course on the ancient Lion King. He is a father of us, is a father of light. Somebody came and said, Daddy, I'm going to have a great ministry. I said, you're talking to somebody like me who are pastor of the church, who are pastored for 32 years, and I'm seeing something you're behaving. You're telling me that this is your behavior will make you have to have a big church. I told you last night that we built Kanu Church 20 years ago. Pastor Sunday is here. Since I left Kanu 20 years ago, has anything new? That is why they can't invite me. If Kanu Church remain at that level, inviting me will bring pain to those who did it. Allowing Kanu Church to remain at that level, you are trying to bring me back to Kanu, will bring pain to somebody.